Hi, I've been asked lately to do up a little bit of a video about how Intella works with two things, one metadata and the other one searching for people by name. So I thought I'd just put up a quick video and show you how we do that. So what I'm going to do now is open a copy of Intella, which is our email tool. So I'm just opening a new case. Case will start up. The first thing that Intellus is going to ask me is what kind of evidence do I want to look at. I'm going to choose a PST file. I have put my evidence in an evidence folder on my hard drive. This is a PST file. I'm going to say next. I'm just going to tell Intella via the wizard how to treat that and how to index it. I'm going to give it the name of BLAIR, Blair. That would be the name of the custodian. So you can name each PST file or each file the name of the custodian. Next, I'm going to calculate copies so that we've got deduplication and find by MD5. I'm going to extract archives and pictures. I'm going to recover deleted data from PST files. I'm going to cache the images so I get thumbnails. And I'm going to say go ahead. So what Intel is doing now is it's spidering the PST file. A little bit like how Google does things. It starts at the beginning, so it looks at the PST, takes the information out of the PST. Then it goes in and says, are there any email? If there is, it takes a copy of the header and puts it in the database. It takes a copy of the body and puts it in the database. If there's an attachment, it takes a copy of the metadata of the attachment, puts it in the database, takes a copy of the content of the document, puts it in the database. If there's pictures, it extracts those pictures and makes a thumbnail of those pictures, and then it continues on through the mail file doing that. It understands myriad of file formats and reports the details on it. The beauty of it is when you do a search for a keyword, the keyword will highlight the document, whether it's in the header, the metadata, the document name, in the body, or any part or anywhere inside that PST. The PST file that I've just done is 70 meg, just shy of 1 or 2K, shy of 70 meg, 55 seconds. It's told me there's 1,894 items in there. So I'm going to do a quick run through of the first thing people have asked me for is just searching for people, for communications between two people in one PST file. So the first one I'm going to do a search for is Rusty, and the next one is, you'll notice that it's not case sensitive. Once I do that, I get three what we call clusters. We call one a cluster and multiple a cluster map. So I get a cluster map and three clusters. This is everything with the word Linus in it, Linus being a name. And then this is everything in the database with the word Rusty in it. And of course, this is everything with Rusty and Linus. So I go back here. This is everything with the word Linus in. As you can see, we highlight it. We show it whether it be in the header or whether it be in the content. And then this is Rusty. Again, we're showing Rusty in the content and in the header if it appears in there. And then, of course, these are items with both words in. So here you can see we have Rusty, and this one probably has Rusty and Linus in it as well. So that's how we search data. So it's very, very quick. There's another method that we could use to do this as well, where we go down to the email addresses and we say, okay, let's come in here and look for all senders. We'll choose our maps and we'll go through and we'll say, this person is part of this data set. Or we could add that person in and say, let's add them into our cluster map and see what emails they have that might be similar or overlap with the other person. I'll just clear that out. If we come back again and we scroll down, we can see there's a few people involved in this. And then we could move down to the all receivers. So this is all people who've received emails. So they're either a 2, a C, or a BCC. If we scroll down through here, I'm going to find one particular one, and I can see that Linus has 93 options. Obviously, you see it highlights them there, and here you can see that we highlight where those particular emails are. You can see the blue dots relate to Linus when we click off it, so you can see which ones are involved in the data set. So that's very, very quick. That's just using, if we wanted to at any stage, we could add Linus in, and that would say, okay, these are all the emails from Linus. This is the overlap between those two people. So that's just quick. And then, of course, once we do that, we can just come through and actually look at the documents and read the information, read the header. Header's fully searchable. Search for things like message reference and SMTP IDs and message IDs, looking for spoofed email. So that's the first thing you can do. So as you can see, searching for people is pretty easy. Searching for email addresses, we could search for Linus at and search for particular email addresses. Pretty useful if you're doing things like at Hotmail, looking for people who are sending things to Hotmail for intellectual property theft. So that's one kind of search. The other one that I wanted to do was one that's a bit more interesting. So people have asked me about how Intella treats metadata. So I'm going to start off by doing a quick search for a couple of words, and then this will become a bit clearer. I'm just going to clear out my old search so that we've got a clear screen. So my first keyword is CIC22. My second keyword is A Blackshaw. And then my next keyword is MKHAN, and it's good to see that I can spell today, and JPRATT. So what I've done is I've searched for 4 users' names. I have 4 usernames, and this, to give you an understanding, those are usernames, and it's highlighted one document has all 4 of those users in it. Now, that's quite interesting from the perspective of one document reports to have 4 users have had taken part in that document. If I come up to our author tab, we might be able to see that a little bit clearer. If I come along and I look at the creator and the contributor tab. Now, creator in Intella is always taken from the author field. So in Word, the author field, or in PDFs, also the author field. And contributor, which we see the most activity here. Contributor is the last author, or last saved, or last printed. It's somebody who's contributed to the document. Okay, so if we have a look here, we get this document when we do that search for those 4 people for the word blair.doc. Okay, to give you a little bit of a run through, there's a website called computerbytesman.com. If you Google Blair or you go to computerbytesman.com, you'll get a much better story on exactly about this document that I'm about to tell you. But the bottom line is this document was issued by Tony Blair on the 10 Downing Street org website, and it was one of the documents that Colin Powell took to the United Nations Security Council for weapons of mass destruction. When the document was released, there was a few people that said the document had been plagiarized. And again, Computer Bytesman gives you the correct story. I might be getting it slightly wrong here. But a person got hold of the document off Tony Blair's website and decided to have a look at the metadata in the back end of the document to see if he could understand who'd written the document. When he did that, obviously this is the document, so Intella's extracted all the text for us to read the document. This is a Word document, you can see by the icon. If we come to the properties, it starts to get a little bit more interesting. We can see obviously the title and the size. We can see the last content created, content modified dates inside the document. We can see that the language is English and the application is obviously Microsoft Word. If we scroll down, when the person looked at this document, they saw this. The website clearly shows this. Saw that there was these names here. Well, these here appear to be what we know now to be usernames, and this one's CIC. When the user actually went back and said, okay, I want to talk to these people, see who these people are, let me reverse engineer these out, it turned out that he could actually find the exact people that took part in this document, and he traced this person, bottom line, this person back to being a junior press secretary in the government. So this person was quite junior, and he had some people to talk to. Bottom line is one of the ministers got called in, or the person in charge of this division got called in for discussions. But this shows how important looking at metadata can be. Intella, in my mind, is a great tool for looking at metadata. We try to extract as much metadata from documents as we can. This is a Word 2000 document. Unfortunately, in Word 2007, for the forensic community, they took out the ability to save the revision history. But let's just very quickly have a look at, if I come along to type and I look at documents, and then I'm just going to load everything into my window so I can see everything in the case. I'm going to clear out these ones while that does. And I'm going to come along to this is everything in my case. I'm now going to come along to my type facet, which breaks everything up into the type of document that it is. If I have a look at MS Word 2007 documents, I can again see the content of the document, and I also have the properties of that document. So here you can see that the template that this document was made from was one called Gardening and Nursery document. Really useful if you're looking for intellectual property theft, where you're looking at somebody who says they never took the document, but if you search for the template name and that turns out to be the company who said the document was stolen from, it's pretty hard for the guy to say that that document didn't originate from a template or inside that organization. So guys, there's two information. Just to quickly show you that this Word document has a picture in it. Intella has extracted the picture and made a thumbnail. So just in general, there's a little bit of information about how Intella does A, searching for names, and B, we also try to put a little bit of information inside here. Sorry, it's probably just going off your screen about what each field is. The concept of the tool is to make it easier for lesser trained people to use, so that you can the forensic guys can spend a bit more of the time doing the detailed work, maybe using end scripts to extract certain stuff out, and then give it to a person to actually review. All right, thanks very much. I hope that was enjoyable. I'd love to get your feedback.